I just came down here today and it appears my tiger shovel nose has died. I honestly don't know what happened this time around, just like my other catfish. I did notice that right after I put him in here, the next day or two, there were a couple scratches on his side. I'm assuming it's from the Oscars, because they didn't look like they really liked him when he was coming over to their side with this rock. But yeah, I did notice his stomach was starting to get really big again, so I don't know if he had a internal parasite or right before I moved him in here, I did kind of starve him for 3 days, because apparently you're supposed to purge catfish before you move them. But yeah, again, I don't know exactly what happened, but I will include this in my update video that I'll be putting out next. So yeah, what's up everyone? Just bringing you a couple quick updates. I already recorded a clip of the catfish I moved to my 125. He unfortunately passed away, but just a quick update video since it's been a while for one of those. Currently doing water changes. Gave up the old bucket method a while ago. I did get I don't remember if it was a 50-foot or a 75-foot python water change system thing. Takes forever, but saves my back. So here is the 125 without the catfish now. Not really anything new to show other than that fish and another one that I found passed away, but here are the big old Oscars. This clown knife does beat them up quite a bit whenever he's hungry, so I have to keep him very well fed or else he attacks them. As you can see, she has a lot of scars now from him. Here's the big tiger Oscar. And don't worry, like I said, I'm doing water changes, so some of these tanks are half drained already. But here's the Red Devil Midas mix, or I honestly couldn't tell you. I picked him up as a Red Devil, but probably just some kind of mix. He's doing good. He was originally in a 125, but all I had at the time was a 75, but he seems to do fine in here. He is the only fish in this tank. He really loves his airstone, as you can tell. He beats the crap out of it all the time. Let's go over to the other 75s. So here is the upper 75. It's actually a little bit quieter over on this side of the basement. Oh, there's one of the bichers going up for some air. So camera's not really showing it, but the water in this tank is kind of green. I did my other small green terror, which I did find passed away. He was up towards the filter just floating the other night, the same night I buried my catfish. Again, with that catfish, I don't know exactly what happened. I did purge him about 3 or 4 days before I moved him. I also changed water in all the tanks, so when I moved him, he would be in some fresh, clean water. And I noticed one of those 3 bigger fish were picking on him. He did have a couple scratch marks on his stomach, but they healed up, honestly, very fast. But he was breathing very heavily and whatnot the whole time. I didn't see him eat once, but I did notice when I pulled him out, his stomach was very bloated, which when he was in this little grow out tank down here, this 75, there was another instance where his stomach was bloated, which I don't know if he was just constipated or had parasites of some sort, but I did not catch it in time because I never saw his stomach bloated that big again until he was passed away. But this tank, there was medication in here. For some reason the color has not left yet. Again, the camera's not picking it up, but it's still bothering me. But here's the jaguar that was in the 20-gallon long. He was growing out. I did move him in here the night I got my red tail, the baby red tail. Female green terror who terrorizes all these fish. Both of those seem to have paired off. I have this wood moved for right now because I was gravel vacuuming, but this jaguar usually stays over on this side, and I don't know why he's so protective, or she, but yeah. Pretty calm tank for the most part. These two Amazonian cichlids just kind of hide out all the time. There's a pleco. I don't know if you just saw his tail, but he hides in there. That pleco makes a large mess in here, eating all the driftwood and whatnot. Down here, here's the gar, doing good. Albino and gold clown knives. I've had the gold clown knife longer than this albino, but the albino has passed this gold clown knife in size already. And for some reason this gold clown knife gets more spots with his age, which from what I've researched, their spots tend to go away as they get bigger, but for some reason this guy gets more and more every time. Not too sure why. And this guy, I don't know if you can see his spots. That's why I wanted one of these albino clown knives. I just love how their face, like his gill right there is yellow, his face, the camera's not showing it, but his face is honestly pretty yellow, but the rest of his body's pretty much white, and those white spots stick out a lot more. I don't know, I love clown knives. And over here to the flower horn tank. Not a flower horn, but it's in there with them. Here is the golden base fader, the last one I got from Chris Rounds. He is getting big. This guy has a good appetite. His red's really starting to show. I haven't came down here in a few days. Well, I've fed him, but that's about it. His red's really coming out. There's some blue in his fins also. Here's the female super red dragon. This girl is very mean. Let's see if she'll bite my finger. Not having it tonight. Nope. I haven't got to this tank. As you can see, there's a lot of leftover food or poop. I still have yet to figure out what kind of fish this one is, but yeah, she's doing good. Haven't had any problems with this fish. I have had this divider fall down a few times, and for some reason, as aggressive as flower horns are supposed to be and as aggressive as she used to be in that lower 75, they have yet to leave a scratch on each other. I'm not too sure why, but it's always a good thing. Now we'll go over to the 20 gallons. Over here at this 20 tall, the Puff Daddy, the Fahaka Puffer. Don't mind that air pump. I didn't turn it off this time. For some reason this tank grows a lot of algae. I'm not sure why. There is a little window right off here to the left that I don't have fully blocked off, so I'm assuming the sunlight gets to it, which just makes the algae bloom like crazy. This guy's doing good. He doesn't seem to grow very much. I don't know why. If anyone knows why, or possibly why, let me know. I do feed him bloodworms, brine shrimp, all frozen cubes. It's about all he eats. I have a tank upstairs that reproduces snails like crazy, and I've dropped them in here plenty of times, and I have yet to see him be around the tank anymore, but he never seems interested in them. I did read though that about the 6-inch mark for these guys is when you should start feeding them hard stuff so their teeth can kind of grind down, but he shows no interest in snails. Yeah, that glare's annoying. But over here, I did have to move this Lima shovel nose red tail hybrid that's deformed into this tank because off to the left is the convict tank, which you'll notice the female convict is in here because after they laid their babies and had them, whatever, the male decided to beat the crap out of her again, and she was literally almost lifeless and dead again, but I somehow was able to save her. And this guy, you can kind of, if it focuses, that is. And it's not gonna, oh, there they go. His top whiskers are very short. That's because that male convict decided to shred him up. So I had to quickly put him into this tank. Baby redtail, that's his little hideout. I don't know if you can see him. There's his stripe on the side of his body. There he is, saying hi real quick. But yeah, I had to move the female calico convict and the Lima type or redtail shovel. Yeah, Jesus. The Lima shovel nose redtail hybrid in here because this male is very defensive of his children. Last time they had babies, it was, I'm assuming she got beaten up because she was eating them, and he did not like that. But as you can see, the babies are swimming around. And also, I don't know if this guy has been eating them also, but yeah, there's not very many of them unless they're all hiding, which I guess there are some over here in these plants, but not very many of them as compared to the video when I recorded it, showcasing some of their babies again, the first time they've spawned in over a year. But yeah, not too sure if he's eating them also. The last time they did lay or have fry, I actually got all the babies in a breeder net and hung it in here, and they were still trying to eat them, so I put them into this tank, and that's when my tiger shovel nose that just recently passed. I have a picture on my Instagram, which is also the same as my YouTube name. If you go there and check that picture out, you'll see my tiger shovel nose when he was a baby in this tank. I actually had about 10 or 12 convict fry in there that were probably about dime sized, maybe a little bit bigger. And one day I went to work and came home, and his stomach was extremely huge because he ate them all. So, and also that tiger shovel nose that did pass, I did raise that from about 3 inches. So that kind of sucks. Same with that red tail tiger shovel nose hybrid that passed. I grew both of those out from about 2 to 3 inches. The red tail tiger shovel nose hybrid was a lot smaller. That was about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. But I know I promised I was gonna start pumping out videos. I actually had the convict video I made was actually kind of sporadic. I was not expecting that. And then I do actually have, no, I don't know. I had promised I was gonna pump out videos, but I got lazy again. But yeah. So those are all the updates with all my fish. Nothing too new. I've lost 2. Lost my tiger shovel nose after I moved him. Not too sure exactly why. And I did come to find out that I lost my baby green terror, but that thing is better off now. I hate to say it, but it was getting picked on severely by the jaguar and the bigger female green terror. The Amazon cichlids didn't really seem to bother him, but he did eat all the time, but oh well. That's going to be it for this update video. Like I said, not too much new going on. But I'll see you guys in the next video.